Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placement. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Pisces, for today is the Tower. And it further says number 19, so 1, 9 and 10 are coming through strong with this energy. Further on you have is a 6 of Spades. Now, this Tower is a little different from the Tarot, the major arcana, Tower card in the Tarot. This is a little bit different, but not entirely different, because it does mean breaking down of false structures. Further on it says, necessary collapse of what was never meant to last, liberation, the clearing that comes before rebuilding, and the mercy which is hidden in the chaos. So it's not a punishment, it is divine intervention, rescuing you from any kind of stagnation. This is consciousness breakthroughs and the freedom available only when the illusions crumble. So anything which was built on falsity, anything that is not able to stand the test of time, needs to go away. Because probably you built something on fear. Maybe I feel that, something that you thought, or maybe you were not fully aware, maybe something you thought would go the distance is unable to go the distance. So something out here is being, reassembled for you. I would use the reassembly word because it's a gift, as something you have, outgrown now. You have outgrown something. And this reconstruction, this reassembling was very much needed. It's like when you live in a house and you buy furniture, and after some time you feel like, this furniture, it looked good on picture, and everything looked good on paper. But now when I'm, it feels like overused. It feels like, there are cracks in it. Something that we didn't think would happen. The leather looked perfect and now it's cracking. There are things that we assume or look good on paper, on pictures, and we order it, we keep it, we sit on it, and we find that it's making some kind of noise, or, it's starting to crack soon, which we did not, imagine before. But now that maybe after a certain amount of time, maybe a year or 2 or 3 of keeping that furniture, you feel like, it's not going the distance. I need to change it. It's that kind of a scenario. So here now, this restructuring, this reassembling could happen in any area. Sorry about that noise. Okay, so Tower energy in this case is a moment where you get the clarity. It's a aha moment. It's something that you've outgrown. So the ending doesn't feel like, it's much needed. You feel like this ending was much needed so that you could make space for the new. Not only things, situations, but even sometimes our belief system, sometimes you believe things should be a certain way. And once we have the clarity, that aha moment, we realize that, our belief system needs an upgrade. So this is a moment for an upgrade, a change, a transformation that will benefit you. Of course, when we come out of a comfort zone and when we have to go through change, it's never easy because we're creatures of comfort. But once you finally see the truth, you finally see the necessity, you finally see the universe's point of view, the high level view, then you're like, okay, it's like, I think I needed this. It was just that I didn't pay attention to it. Or even if you did, you maybe weren't like, okay, I let it be. What is the need to rebuild? But once a structure is rebuilt, once a belief system is rebuilt, once a situation, any situation that could be, is rebuilt in a newer way, you will feel, when you look back in hindsight, how much it was needed. So be mindful also. It's also, a nudge for you, Pisces, to pay attention to what's going on around you. You know, 12th energy is, you're the mutable water sign. So you're very empathic, but at the same time, you're very fluid. You know, it's like, it's good thing. It's a good thing sometimes, and sometimes it kind of it overwhelms you, or you just overdo it for way too long. You know, thinking that it's meant to be. It's something that you were meant to go through in this lifetime. So sometimes we can just pass up situations thinking that it's our kind of divine lesson or spiritual lesson, or a harsh lesson. We don't really have to tolerate it, to tolerate things and situations to the point of breaking us apart or breaking us down to, it's like the moment that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. We don't have to take it too far. Right? Because self-care, loving ourselves is also part of our job on this planet, so we need to protect ourselves also. We need to protect our sanity also. So just because you're just giving in or giving in, you don't have to give it and give it every moment, every time, every situation, so just because you're spiritual and you might be into spiritual practices and you have the faith that everything's happening for a reason, doesn't give you a reason to ignore the, unfair things that are happening or going on around you. So have that distinction. I feel that that distinction, that discernment is very much needed at this point in time for you or from you, where you recognize what, can be accommodated and what is breaking your back, what has gone too far. So having that compassion and empathy for yourself is also something that would be needed from you. Now, if this is not your energy, you actually might be seeing things happening around you, where maybe companies are collapsing, or maybe some, there are some kind of job losses happening around you. Job loss does not mean that those people that are being let go will be jobless. They will reinvent themselves and they will find a job which is more suited for their skill, or this would be a moment for them to upskill themselves so that they can evolve and join a new workforce. But, moving out of one job is kind of a forced evolution of meat available by the universe, which is painful, because we're comfortable in that job, we don't want to go, but the universe knows better that you have more potential, you can grow, and there's something else better which is waiting for you. So you might see people quitting workforces or being let go, and that could be some kind of a tower moment for them, for their moment. But later on, we know when we talk to those people, we find that the job loss was in their favor. Now, some of you might also see this play out around in your neighborhood or at a global or national level, where you'll find that some kind of a structure, that could be marriages, it could be organizations, it could be processes, institutions, whatever that is, something is coming to an end. Maybe some kind of a store, which has been running for way too long, is now closing down, or some bank has, they've come out there not doing well, or they have some losses, bankruptcies and things like that, that's closing out. But it's part of evolution, the times are changing, and, the financial stock markets and the way people, do life is changing. And if institutions are, failing to catch up with changing trends, then there will be a forced change. On top of that, there are natural calamities that disrupt systems. There are, war zones. There are economic changes, economy changes, or some kind of work unions, workforce unions, job unions, could be coming up with some kind of changes that they want. And so, these kind of changes are part of growing, part of growing up. It's part of catching up with what's going on in the society. The new, new generation is of a different mindset. The next generation does not believe in what the older generations believed, and they want newer structures, they want newer processes, they want newer trends. And if the old stores, they're not catching up, then there will be a close down, there will be a bankruptcy, So it's very important that businesses stay on top of the changing economics, stay on top of the changing trends and systems and things like that. For some of you, and actually for all of us, we're experiencing these in the everyday news that, there is political chaos in some place. There maybe the political chaos is impacting your city or your state or your nation, whatever that is. And some political structures and parties are going out and new ones are. The next card you have, Pisces, is that says running away from emotion. Further, it says flight from feeling, avoidance of emotional depth, the numbing of the heart, the escape from vulnerability, and the cost of refusing to feel. This is not judgment. It is invitation to stop running, call to emotional courage, and the aliveness available only when you finally turn around and face what you have been avoiding. So, Pisces, you probably are running away from emotions that, you feel will be painful to feel. Maybe they're intense. Maybe you don't want to be, you don't want to show your true self. You don't want to speak what you're truly feeling. And you feel that if you run fast enough, that emotion, that feeling will not catch up with you. Which means that if you're going to stay over busy, you feel that you won't have time to feel it. If you feel that you can just escape on a vacation, you feel that, the happiness of being in a different area, a different place, will kind of make you forget the underlying emotion that you have been trying to avoid. But see, the fact of the matter is that emotion is not going to, leave you. It's an emotion. It's not a food item that you digest and get it done with. No, it's an emotion that will stay with you until you pay attention to it. And it will find you. It will come to the surface when you're just tired running away from it. So no point in hiding from your inner world, because it's going to suffocate you in time. So now this energy is encouraging you to stop running and stop avoiding, because this feeling is something that has not been attended to. And whatever you've been running from, this thing, the feeling, it's not going to destroy you. It's not here to destroy you. It won't kill you. But the fact that you're avoiding it is going to kill you. It won't allow you to be present in the moment. It won't allow you to fully live your life. So stop not feeling things and start addressing them. Because, it's going to exhaust you. That's what happens when we just try to keep too busy, try to burn ourselves out on the pretext that we sleep off with that, and next morning we wake up and, we won't remember anything, we won't feel anything. That's not how it works. And we all know that. It's nothing new that I'm talking about over here. So, another thing is, with Piscean collective energy, there's a lot of spiritual, meditative, transcending energies, also with 12th house, your 12th house. So, I mean, meditation and all of those spiritual practices are a good way of managing our emotions, of understanding ourselves. So, and you're no stranger to those, spiritual practices. So, take a moment, and then see what your soul speaks to you. See what needs to be addressed, because when when you feel it, when you feel the feels, you will know what to do. If it's making you sad, then process that sadness, process that emotion of sadness. There's so many spiritual modalities that are available today, and we all know about them. So whatever floats your boat, take that modality up and try to heal yourself. Otherwise, everything which is unprocessed inside of you will keep reappearing, and it won't be pleasant. So there is no shortcut to liberating yourself from pain. You will keep resurfacing until the underlying emotion has been fully addressed. So instead of, it coming back to you over and over again and bothering you, instead just take the time, feel the feels, process your emotions. Don't distract yourself by, social media or just mindless scrolling or, just scattering your energy here, there, everywhere. Instead, just, take a moment to sit with yourself and, think things through. Feel your emotions. See what your soul is speaking to you. And don't suppress those feelings. Don't hide your emotions. Don't deny your feelings. If you're feeling sad about something, try to understand why you're feeling sad about it. Now, there are, inevitable things that happen in our lives. And, sometimes they're not easy to deal with. Then you need to take that time to process that emotion and, take some time off from your busy routine and try to see what can help you heal instead of you, dismissing the fact that you need to work on that. Because eventually, if you escape this feeling of, if you don't address your emotion, it will deplete you, it will deplete your energy, it will deplete your soul, You'll always feel empty from inside. You will always feel that numbness. You won't feel alive again. You'll always feel detached and disconnected from people. So don't escape your emotions. Instead, just process it, be mature about it, and heal it. It further says here, running from emotion guarantees repetition. Turning toward emotion enables evolution. The feeling you avoid is a lesson you're meant to learn. So don't numb it, don't escape it, don't avoid it. Sometimes Piscean energy, or even anybody else also, I would say, like, Pisces, this may not be actually your energy even, this could be somebody that you're, that's in your house, family, extended family, or your neighbors, or your friends, even people in your team at work. You might feel that they are distracted, or, they kind of constantly, they constantly run away, they jump from or hop from one thing to another. They cannot focus, or they're trying to not talk about something. They constantly distract. If you bring up a certain topic, they constantly shift the subject, or maybe they kind of try to stay distracted by just like what do you call, by just watching or binge watching TV, or binge watching social media, or just mindlessly shopping online, or eating, eating. Sometimes people just eat so much because they're feeling a certain type of way. So you might feel that somebody has these uncanny behavioral traits around you. um Man, if that's the case, then if you if you're able to talk or help them out in any ways, then that will be the understanding that that person needs. for if you see somebody around you that's just like, going from one thing to another, or one activity to another, they're just, drowning in work or keeping so busy that they don't want to think about anything. They don't want a second to think about anything. So maybe it's a hint that they're trying to escape feeling something. I saw that movie and I will give it to you for this because it comes to mind for, the name of the movie is, it's a little old movie. It's called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And I love that movie so much. It's the main character over there is Joel Barish. And he's constantly running away from, he's constantly running away from his, he's trying to constantly escape what he's feeling, he keeps himself busy with this, that, and the third. And, he, in the end, whatever he realizes in the end is something which is deeply, touching, it's an emotional movie, so be mindful when you watch it. But it really strikes me for this energy. Total Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's a beautiful movie. It's a little emotional, so just be mindful of that. For songs, you can listen to. I would say, listen to a song. It's called Running Up the Hill. Running Up the Hill. And it's by Kate Bush. I really admire that song. I love the words of the song. And I feel that it deeply resonates with this one. How, listen to the words about, it's all about running, running and the exhaustion that running constantly away from emotion causes, the exhaustion that happens. That is what that song is about, Running Up the Hill. So check it out if you're interested. Now, further down it says, you are safe to feel. Your heart is strong enough to hold any emotion. Your soul is ready to come home. Stop running, start feeling, and come alive. The next card you have, Pisces, is the Five of Wands. It's in the reverse for you. This is Minor Arcana, Wands Aspire. Element energy, and it's in the reverse for you. Further down it says, conflict dissolving, peace emerging from chaos, harmony restored, collaboration replacing competition, unified energy replacing fragmentation, and the power available when you stop fighting and start flowing together. This is not surrender to injustice. It is strategic alignment, wise cooperation, the strength of unified purpose, and the transformation available when you choose peace over victory. Yeah, because fighting is exhausting. It's the same for all of us. When we are struggling constantly with our peers or the people that we work with, that we are surrounded with, that struggle is draining. So competition, when it's I would never say competition is ever healthy because sometimes it is especially when we're shopping out there and we see brands kind of competing for price points and things like that. Yeah, sure, that's fun because we get the best deals. But when it happens to us, when we're in the company of people that are constantly competing with us, that's not fun. And I feel that you're already starting to see that there's no fun, when you're competing with people that are around you, your, friends, neighbors, whatever that is. It's it's always better when we stand together, when we are a team, when everybody is working together in the spirit of collaborating with each other, towards a common goal rather than dominating over each other. So, and also, it speaks of our maturity. It speaks of our understanding that, our power, our strength is not in fighting uphill battles or fighting harder or fighting harder. It's about it's about coming together, moving together. So I feel that you and the entire team, or the people that you were in this kind of a battle with, a little bit of a battle, I would say, not too bad, but yeah, of course, there is some kind of disagreements out here, which is going on with some people out here for you. So you're like, no, I don't want to fight anymore, because not because you think that you cannot fight or you're weak. It's not that. Five of Wands in the reverse is by no means feeling weak. It's just that you have that maturity in you to realize that there's no point in fighting. There's no point in, who do you want to prove things to? There's no point in it. You have lost the desire or the need, I would say, to win. So you prefer peace over unnecessary proving, yeah, I'm better, I'm this, my way, highway, that kind of a thing. You're not into it anymore. So that's very good, because now you can actually work together peacefully. You can, you can work towards a common goal. And, when we do that, it actually brings all of our strengths, the people that are working together, it adds up everyone's strength and produces something which cannot be achieved by a single person. So your goals, the bigger goals, the higher goals, maybe in the company, maybe you have own business, that will start to, be achieved. You'll be able to achieve your goals. You will be able to achieve much more than what you had even thought before. So I feel that when we stop fighting with each other and we start fighting for each other, it's like, yeah, you're my bestie, you're my, you're my ride or die, or you're my team, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm going to fight to have you on my team. When we, when each of us, are in that spirit, that's where is the true victory. That's the strength. That's the true power. Now, for you Pisces, especially, the caveat with the Five of Wands is to not be superficial about it. It's like a Piscean energy on a collective level likes to be more peaceful. Water energy, there's compassion, there's empathy, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to give into it. So don't give in. This energy needs to be brought about. It's a good energy. Five of Wands in the reverse is very good, but it needs to be brought about by good communication. It needs to be brought about by mutual understanding, not by undermining. Nobody should undermine or mistreat anybody. Nobody should play underhanded or just, for the heck of it, superficial, surface level peace. This energy will topple over again if it's not really, worked out in the most cooperative, spiritual, harmony bringing way, where it's a win-win for everybody. Until that situation is not worked out in that peaceful manner, it will come back again. It will resurface again. So everybody needs to come together, have that real conversation, even if it's hard, or even if it's a hard conversation, that's okay. Work it out, and this energy should be brought about only through honest emotions, honest communication, by using healthy ways, healthy manners, with a lot of respect for each other, through learning and understanding of each other. And, that's when true peace can be brought about. Everybody needs to bravely confront any kind of disagreements, conflicts. Do it. But then once the peace is achieved, make sure it's achieved for good, and that situation does not resurface again. And because this is a Wands energy, it's a fire element. So fire needs to be tamed. It needs to be used constructively. It needs to be used to purify, to transform in a good and gentle way. Too much use of fire, which is passion, too much heat, can destroy things for no reason. So because it's fire element involved over here, Archangel Michael rules this energy. So meditate on those energies in order to bring in the peace, the cooperation, the kindness, And, and be very honest, the core values have to be pure. The core values, when people come together, have to be pure. Yeah, this energy always reminds me of the concept of Ubuntu. Ubuntu, a lot of you would have heard. Ubuntu is a concept where everybody says that I am because we are. United we stand, divided we fall. So it's about recognizing that the community or the collective power is way more than individual power. Now, if this is not your energy, Pisces, which it may not be, you could hear about a lot of people coming together, reconciliations, peace initiatives going on around you. People coming together, partnering. There could be partnerships forming, mergers in companies happening, or some kind of peace treaties that you could be hearing about, or a lot of different people coming together that you never thought would happen, but they're cooperating now for the higher good. There's peacemaking initiatives, there's collaborations, there's cooperation. There is, even these days, there's a lot of trade wars which are going on, so you'll find some kind of partnerships coming together and trade wars going away, or, some kind of, a lot of meditation centers where, sorry about that noise. So for those of you interested in catching up on a movie in regards to, conflict resolution or just a nice movie in general, I would say, you can watch the movie. It's called, I feel, Remember the Titans. It's called Remember the Titans. The lead role played by Denzel Washington. I loved that movie so much. Remember the Titans, and I feel that, you will take away a thing or two from that movie and listen to the song about we are the world, or you can listen, we are the world, we are on the children. That's another song that comes to mind for this. You can also listen to, I love that song by John Lennon. The song is Imagine. Imagine is the name of the song, and it's by John Lennon, and I completely love that song. It's about imagining a world which is united without any conflicts, where every country, there is global cooperation at every level. There is peace which is achieved through shared goals, shared vision, So it's a beautiful song, but, wishes there was, everybody was united, and it's the ultimate peace anthem, I would say. So listen to the song Imagine by John Lennon. And pay attention to the lyrics. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that song. And the last card for today, Pisces, you have is the card of the Servant Queen. It further says, divine, magnetic, valuable. Further on, it says, you are worthy of beautiful things. This is card number 3. It's coming through strong with this energy. Further on, it says, the paradox of power through service, the magnetism of authentic humility, the value that comes from giving generously, the divine feminine strength in nurturing, and the magnetism emerging when you serve from the wholeness rather than need. So this is not a card of self-sacrifice. It is sacred service, powerful generosity, the magnetic attraction available when you honor your own value while serving others, and the kingdom that flourishes when the queen tends to her people from her own fullness. So Pisces, this is a very important energy, and I've been speaking about, this energy in the past, in the previous readings as well. And, just know, Pisces, that you are valuable, not just because of what you do, what you bring to the table, but you're valuable because of who you are as a person. Each of us, we have the divine in us. We're perfectly imperfect. But, the essence of every person is different, and it's sacred, of course. And just know that you are that sacred presence, that sacred essence, for who you are. not because of how you perform at work or not because of everything else you do, but it's just because you are you. You're a queen, irrespective of the gender, or king, however you take it. It's not that you like to dominate or, you like to cut other people down, but you lead because you are available. You offer your services. You lead because you do everything as a service. You are very generous. So that itself is a very magnetic trait to have, and collective Piscean energy is very open-hearted, very giving. Sometimes that will empty you out, but you are able to fill your cup up fast and serve back again. So you're humble, you're kind, you're genuine, you're authentic, and that's a very queenie, kingly thing to do. I mean, if we think of the kings and queens that ruled, the ones that lasted for long had these at the core, had these core values in them, positive values. And I feel that's what you are made of. But again, Piscean energy needs to be very mindful when they are serving people, because sometimes there is a scope of losing ourselves in service of other people. Constantly, when it becomes a habit of putting other people's needs above ourselves, Piscean collective tends to abandon their own needs. And, self-sacrifice is good at times, but not at all times. So giving is good as long as you're not feeling depleted or you're not getting depleted. Because if you get depleted in giving, in service, anybody would start to feel resentful. So taking care of your own self so that you don't burn out, so that you don't get depleted is very important. Otherwise, what happens is that, when we are not taking care of ourselves, when we work tirelessly, when we bend over backwards in giving, we feel bitter. We get bitter. We feel resentful. So taking care of yourself is not a selfish act. It is an essential act, because like everybody says, it's so cliche. We can't pour from an empty cup, and that's true. So I do feel a lot of you Pisceans are rising up to be that compassionate leaders, where you lead through service, in the sense that, let me give you an example. I think all of us know Oprah Winfrey, and Oprah is the leader, where she is helping other people so much, and she becomes an icon through that, through her generosity, through her presence, through her leadership, the kind of leader that she is. That's what makes her stand out. That's what makes her iconic. And there is so many other lady leaders, feminine leaders. It doesn't have to be feminine. It's not about genders, but I'm just saying that, men, women, both, who have this capability of leading through compassion, through wise service, nurses, caregivers, teachers, activists, spiritual gurus, spiritual teachers, moms and dads, mentors, everybody, Mother Teresa, name it. There's so many of them, healers, doctors, and people on the front, the war zones, people that are fighting for humanity, humanitarian workers, everybody, social workers, all of those are this energy of the serving queen. They're serving community, they're serving societies, they're healing, they're taking care, they are mentoring, they are adding value to people's lives. Not that they lose themselves in it, but they're just, they're rising, the rise of society. And see, today, the society has been transformed through the generosity and efforts of these queens and kings, who are powerful service givers and and everybody, each and every one of us recognizes their leadership, recognizes their contribution, recognizes their value, and I feel you're being recognized in the same light as well. Now, if this is not your energy, I hope this is, but if it's not, then you might be, seeing this energy play out around you in your house. Maybe there are people that are serving, there are advocates, there are, part of some organization that are catering for the underdogs, people who are trying to, add value to each and every person's life, big and small. Every person in the entire world, deserves all the happiness that they can get. And there are people that are fighting. There are activists that are fighting for their rights, fighting for their happiness, fighting for, fighting for justice for those people that are not able to fight for themselves. So collectively, we rise up, by uplifting people. So this energy of the Servant Queen is about uplifting people in some way, shape, or form. And you might be hearing a lot of people working towards this goal as a collective in some way, shape, or form, whether it's to mentoring, teaching. Maybe you'll see some people are just, taking classes for free, or they are advocating, with in a small price or a small price or no price at all, or working for marginalized communities, or maybe protecting the environment. And, there's the focus on the community in some way, shape, or form, or working towards the future generations, like the greens, environment, planting more greens, having more good air, and environmental cleanliness and things like that. You might be seeing a lot of activity around that. Or even teams and sports teams or organizations, they are coming up with practices that include everybody, that are inclusive of everybody, that are fair and square, that are becoming just. The pay divides are becoming lesser, or they're doling out some bonuses, or, helping out raise the morale, boost the morale of communities, people, students, in some way, shape, or form. You might be hearing a lot of initiatives of not only just volunteering, but also creating harmony, of a lot of people donating, or they are healers, healing communities, at low cost or zero cost to the other person, and people that are giving away food and clothes and, things generously. Or you might see, some kind. This is like a collective consciousness growth is what I'm picking up. And that's what 12th house Pisces energy is all about, consciousness and growth in that area. So I do feel that through this process, it's like every person feels that they have added some value to the world. They feel connected more to the divine, it's like purposeful living, where you helped out someone or the other, whether by just listening to them or healing them or providing for them, or just mentoring them, or just being present in their lives, and still being humble, having that humble presence. That's what draws people to the this kind of leaders that are humble and powerful in their own way. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.